we all want to love our families, and sometimes we get pushed. I think everybody gets pushed. But one of the worst places I think that we can be pushed in our love for others is going through a terrible thing like dementia, like Alzheimer's, and watching a person go away. And, they're not there anymore, and they say things to us that frustrate us. Well, where is God in all this? And Jeanne has come here to talk about what's it like to live through such an experience. I hear it's like one of the worst experiences that we go through as humans. There's nobody we love more than our families.
Right.
And to watch our family member go away, and it's not just a sadness. Sometimes we can get angry at God, angry at them. When I say that to you, Jeanne, right now, people have said, because you've seen it, I haven't. Mm-hmm. It's one of the worst things to go through in life, to watch somebody, their mind go away.
It is the worst thing that can happen, especially your husband, because that's somebody who you're really close to. And every day something just gets chipped away, and they become less and less of who they were.
Right. I think you've talked before about wanting them to come back.
Definitely, you want to say that it's not happening, and you want them to stay the same as they were, and they're not. And that's what's so hard.
And, it kind of reminds me of that prayer. They say, God, help me to accept the things I cannot change. And that for George, in your situation, you cannot change this. There's no reversing. Did you ever have hope that maybe some miracle would come and George could come back? Or did you say, this is it, I know it's it, I want him to come back, and if someone asked you back then, 13 years ago, yeah, I know George's not coming back, but you still, what was it like for you? Did you have hope?
I really didn't have any hope that he was going to come back because of the disease and how it chips away. And you just know that it's not going to come back, because every day there's something else that it's like a building block, and the building blocks keep building and building where they're taken away from you.
So I'm hearing get this picture like a chinga, the game.
Right, right.
And you start pulling out piece by piece, and is it going to make it? Can I but you're watching this go away little by little. And you're saying you want him to come back, but there's just a lot of different things, So I think some of us men, our wives speak to us and we're just like, and we're not, our mind is somewhere else. But for a person with Alzheimer's, I would think that's like triple or quadruple the regular guy that's, can I get your attention? Did you hear what I said?
Right. In their mind, they can't comprehend. They can't think the way they used to. They're just not capable. But yet you want them to be capable. You don't want to let that hope go that they will be able to understand
you. Jeanne, if you could go back, say 14 years ago, and George over there, and talk to yourself, what would have you said to Jeanne 14 years ago? And I would imagine, I don't know how long it was before it was diagnosed, you saw something was going on. This time George left and passed away. What would the Jeanne today say to Jeanne back then?
Well, I would say to give yourself some grace. Give yourself the talk, that you would talk to somebody else, that you would talk to your friend. If your friend was going through that, what would you tell your friend? You wouldn't tell your friend, oh, you failed, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. You'd give your friend some grace and say you did the best you could.
Yeah, and we talk with Jeannie's here at the church, and the foundation for us and our lives are a God who loves us. And around this church, we speak a lot of, we're called to just do two things in life: love God with all our heart, soul, and mind, and strength, and then love people like we love ourselves. But when you get pushed, we find out, a little shortage of love. We lose our, love is patient and kind. It's the Bible. And sometimes we lose that patience and kindness when we're push, 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 push.
You are, and caregivers, a lot of them don't sleep well. They don't eat well. They're so busy taking care of that person that they forget to take care of themselves. And you need to put your oxygen mask on so that you can take care of that other person.
So if you went back and talked to Jeanne 14 years ago, you would be saying something like what you just said now?
Yes. Put your oxygen mask on.
But I also heard something else from you, and that is, well, it was off camera, that there's a constant push, push, push of where do you find your breather space? Well, maybe when George was sleeping, but then you needed to go to sleep too. And, how do you find that? Or did you, at times, when George would just be over, I don't know, sitting in a chair or something, and he's quiet, and then would it be at those moments that you would encourage others as you would encourage yourself if you could go back?
If your person is asleep or resting, that should be your time. And steal it for yourself. Forget the tasks that you need to do, the dishes, the laundry. That can all wait. Take care of yourself.
Man, that would drive me crazy to watch the dishes. I've been I can't stand that kitchen is all dirty, and you're saying no. Forget the dishes.
Forget the dishes.
What, your suggestion, or to Jeanne's self, and, we want Jeanne to encourage anyone else out there, is let go of that and take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. That's very important.
Yeah. And I don't know if it would be especially hard for a person that's like a type A. Or maybe you are. Or you are a perfectionist. I don't know.
I know George was a type A.
George was.
Which was hard in itself. It was a type A. And it was hard for me to let that go and take care of myself. But it's important to surround yourself with people, with spiritual people, people that will feed you not only mentally, but your soul.
Was there anybody of you, as you look back at that time of your life, was there anybody that they were just a godsend, a breather to you? Now, don't make it up if there wasn't.
Oh no, I have a friend of mine, Carol, who was very good, and I would go to Bible study, and at the time George was able to stay by himself, and then he called Carol while I was gone at Bible study, and he said, I think I'm having a heart attack. And she says, what? You're talking to me, why don't you go get an aspirin? And so he was taking her all over the house looking for, an aspirin. But she was a godsend, because if I couldn't leave her phone number, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
If you said to her name is again Carol?
Carol.
Carol, I just get so frustrated. He pushes, he doesn't stop. I tell him over and over again, and he doesn't. It's so simple. How would Carol react to that?
How would she react to that? She would be, just telling me to take time for myself.
Yeah, and maybe that wasn't Jeanne, but well, you said it was hard for you to let go. You wanted George, come back, George, come back. And George was slipping away little by little. And it wasn't just like he was being quiet and sitting there. He had a mouth on him.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
he would say words that you probably didn't want to hear. And with that, the frustration, letting those go. I guess you're getting me just with the dishes. My mom taught me, don't wake up to dirty dishes. and because we have all these habits we learn in our life, and they all go away when this happens.
Right.
And where's God? And did you ever feel that, where are you, God?
Oh, absolutely. I wondered where he was, and why us? Why were we going through this? Why was he going through this? And where are you in all of this? And, it's just be still and know I am your God. That's
Did you have that back then?
I did.
You did. Be still and know that's God. I don't feel you, God. I don't know you're there, God, but I want to be still and just believe that you are there.
Right.
Like, well, what was they talk about guilt that can happen. You're a caregiver, and that you know you need to step it up. You know this is reality. This is what you're facing.
Right.
And you just don't feel that you're adequate, or you shouldn't have said that. You lost your cool. Dealing with the guilt of the time. I mean, what would you say to people who are struggling with that?
With guilt, there's a lot of guilt about caregiving. And one particular time, I was taking him to play golf. He was a golfer, and he was just pick, 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 all the way over there. Pulled over the car, and I said, "Get out." And he said, "No, I'm not getting out." And it was like, oh my gosh, the guilt just, it's like, what are you doing? Telling this man to get out of the car when he has Alzheimer's. And it's like, just God, please forgive me. Please forgive me. And I was forgiven before I even asked him because he knew, he's got mercy.
God has mercy, and I think we talk about our feelings. When you have the peace of God just float over you, and it's okay, and everything's all right, almost like a shield around you. And yes, there's that world falling apart out there, but to feel the grace of God, we all love that, but we don't always get that. We don't always feel that. We're left to struggle. We're left to deal with our guilt, with our frustrations. We wish this would just go away, and it doesn't. We wish George would come back. It just doesn't. You said I heard you say, there was a voice that you said, be still and know that I am God.
Yes. Yes.
So to say to somebody if that voice could be there for you, how would the Holy Spirit, how can someone else get a verse like that?
I think just by being still, and for me, whenever I could, I would read scripture, and sometimes it helped, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes, I just wanted to scream at God and say, where are you in all of this? And I don't feel you. Come to me. And he would come in the most obscure times, where you wouldn't washing the dishes and crying, and it's like, I'm here. And the dishes weren't dirty that day.
I think I gotta let the dishes go here. I just said, but to get that peace, and I think it's putting one foot in front of another when I don't feel that peace.
Right.
When I put one foot in front of the other and I don't feel peace, I don't feel God, but I believe He's there with me. I think that to me that's where it is. And I don't know if you ever got so mad at God you just said, I just want to give up on you, just go away. Did you ever get to that place?
No, I never got to that place, but I did get angry at him, and I did scream at him, and I raised my fist at him. It wasn't often, but it was usually when I was tired and exhausted, and I was at my wits' end, and I didn't know what else to do but yell at God because He can take it.
Did you feel He could take it at the time?
Yeah.
So you didn't feel guilty about that?
No, I didn't feel guilty about screaming at God because I learned from a young age that God was forgiving.
Right, so you always had that God is forgiving thing. And I think for all of us is that, whatever you're dealing with, you don't always feel that peace that comes from God's grace, but I think it's relying on it. That God is there, I'm going through, I'm being pushed. I find myself saying things I don't want to say. I try to go the next day and say, I'm not going to do that again, and then voila, here I am again. That a God is with us. And then finally, Jeanne, God sets you down, it sounds like. Well, then thank you for coming and willing to talk about this and to share, because this is part of life that's hard. to say to anybody else out there from your understanding of they're in the journey, they're in the tornado, as you call it, what would you like to say to them?
I would like to say that you're not alone. And myself and two other people have formed a group called Care for Caregivers here at St. Matthew, and we welcome you. And we also have a Stevens ministry that will walk with you on your journey. So you're not alone and you don't have to be alone. Just make that phone call.
Right. You can look us up at St. Matthew Lutheran Church, Sonora. I never know the exact website address, but you can find us in Sonora, California. And we do know that the web goes a lot further, and this is going on all over the place. And we want to let you know we have prayer partners, and you can go on our website. People will pray for you. If you'd like to meet Jeanne, I'm sure she'd love to meet you and come and give you care and support. When does the group meet?
We meet twice a month on, I believe it's the first Tuesday in the afternoon and the third Wednesday in the morning.
Okay. Hey, thank you for joining us, and thankful that Jeanne is willing to share her story. We want to encourage all of you out there, and there is a God who loves you, Christ who died for you, and He is always with you whether you feel Him or not. And may God bring you His peace. Eventually, things do get better in life. So God's blessings be with you.